welcome to my channel. Okay, so first off, thank you to everyone who has made donations and showed love to me in 3D. Appreciate y'all a lot. Thank you so much. Next, right? I'm gonna go ahead and kick into this essence reading. I'm hoping everybody's doing okay, considering our animalistic side, right, would have been pulled out of us so very much with this blood moon and everything, right? And with the eclipse, lunar eclipse, right? Yeah. Oh, so it's some knowing more that comes into place with the wisdom. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Shadow Queen, acquiring knowledge, insecurity, manipulation, and angels, right? Or the alchemy that comes into place with acquiring knowledge, insecurities, and different types of manipulations that come into place with the angels, art, knowing more, and art, right? All right. So, yeah. Hopefully everybody's doing okay, right? I'm hoping everybody's doing okay. One of the things I did, real quick, it was a lot of different little dreams and stuff that I was kind of seeing some stuff go down with. Uh, Outside of that, though, there was also okay, but not only okay, but not only is it an essence shift, right? But ultimately, just pay attention to what your intentions are and what you put out into the universe. All right. So first card out. Let's see what messages. Okay, we have wow. All right, official person. This is interesting. Gift, privileged lady, a gift, privileged lady, mature woman, concern, journey, thief, message. So your official person's message will be in regards to some different gifts, dealing with a privileged lady and what it is to be a privileged lady. That's gonna come into space with a lot of different areas. Okay, expectation. Anything else? Expectation for one not to be concerned, and then there being a journey, right? In short, it's not gonna be about the knowing more or a lesson, right? The expectation with with the one's incoming lessons and things of that nature, and what it is between the journey that would have taken place between 28 and 33. Another thing that I'm really kind of getting from that in regards to like those numbers, uh, 28, 30, that's like a 5 year span. What is given is how quickly you can learn a lesson, with the expectations. Something else that I'm really getting from this is what happens in regards to a tower moment, not being a third party entitled, and then there's this Princess of Swords. So ensure where what goes on within one collecting information, collect, collecting information, reporting, walking away. The reports are walking away, in the passion in the beginning, and the collecting of information that comes into place in the passion in the beginning. In the beginning. In the beginning, that's what that's given. And how it is that one wouldn't celebrate a title, the battle that comes into place with titles. Let's see what else. Let's see what this wisdom is. Ultimately, what I'm getting from this is within dealing within a tower moment that one wouldn't have been celebrating and they wouldn't have been a part of a third party situation. It's giving that whole the title of battlefields and stuff like that. The other thing is we got this raven, right? So this could be pertaining to like some spirit animals and things of that nature. In regards to the raven, quoth the raven nevermore. Edgar Allan Poe is giving some stuff that would have gone on. Yeah, because March is Women's History Month. April is National Poetry Month. So I'm thinking that may have something to deal with that. The other portion of it is the tower moments that come into place within one, not being magic, coincidence, or synchronistic events. Yeah, some of it'll be about the incoming magic that'll be going on. But also that's for the alchemical aspects and the different celebrations and things of that nature within the tower moment of the burden of boundaries and independence. How one's boundaries and having independence and healthy boundaries would impact one's need to be needed. So within a collection of information, it's about how a person would need something, would need you. Pay attention to because in that whole needing to be needing, you needing to be needed, right? One of the biggest things is if you have too many people who quote unquote need you for something, that can put a stressor on you. Archangel Michael, you're working very closely with this powerful archangel who's protecting and guiding you through this situation. Power animal. I knew this was gonna come up. So in the power animal aspect, this gonna be more so according to the if you know like your indigenous heritage and understanding there's a difference between a power animal, a spirit animal, and like your totem animal, and even your Chinese zodiac, and depending on the African zodiac, yeah, and then even in regards to that, like the African zodiac. So if you know your heritage, pay attention. What that'll be giving you is like an ecosystem, so to speak. It'll give you an ecosystem of different things it is you will have to pay attention to within yourself. If you have all these different parts of heritage, the dog eat dog, yeah, or how one beginning would be a part of another beginning and be a part of it, yeah, how you'll have multiple ones. Before I came on here, I was hearing the song by Immature. I used to love that boy group. I did. I really did. I used to love that boy group. I'm not a fool. Please don't break my heart. I'm daydreaming about you and I need you in my life. Okay, I like that song a lot, y'all. But ultimately, in that song, and with the whole the tower moment of the beginnings, and whether or not a person would be foolish, and if a person not being on the fool's journey. Just because a person has knowledge of the fool's journey and what it is doesn't mean that they're actually on it. So that's obviously something needs to be paid attention to. Release. Work with Archangel Michael to let go of what no longer serves you or your purpose. So in the angels portion, right, what it's really given is you need to really pay attention to the expectation of one not being concerned or how one wouldn't have learned or taught, how one wouldn't have been taught. Some people are just naturally gifted with things. In the spiritual aspect or in the contract, one not working, and it would have been something 8 years ago that Archangel Michael would have been trying to bring in to focus to it and for you. 8 years, 8 seeds. Another thing is that whole Scorpion aspect that'll come into place with things, and there being this offer of love, the offer of reciprocation. What this is giving is like a month of reciprocity. What reciprocity is. Oh, that, yeah, and one not being recognized. One of the things hurt. That's not good. That's not good. That wouldn't be good because in that whole needing to be needed, especially if it's gonna be talking about some of the stuff that's kind of been on conversation in that whole twin flame situation that people keep bringing into place. Uh, a month of non-reciprocation could be a good thing or a bad thing. Or go ahead and say what you have to because some ultimately what it'll be talking about is there would have been spell work that would have been done so that a person wouldn't be able to be recognized. They wouldn't have their inspiration organized. Yeah, and there wouldn't be it would just be a tragedy. Yeah, that it would just be tragedy. And on top of that, that whole wisdom of the burdens of independence and healthy boundaries. The time moment that comes into place with this is know what your bounds are. Know what your bounds and yeah, what's for you is for you, what's not is not. Pretty much what that boils down to. And you'll be amazed. Yeah, you'll be amazed what some people will do when they know that they're gone. Yeah, when they know that there's contracts and stuff like this out for a person not to work, and that there would be some sort of blessings and things of that nature that will come into place for helping a person, they will intentionally cripple you. They will. That's just that portion of it, right? So, now there's a difference between enabling and crippling. You get people who cripple you, who will steal from you and do every fucking thing just so you have to come and talk to them. When you have no desire to talk to them or nothing at all, that's when it turns into theft. That's part of the whole situation with theft coming up a whole lot. That seven of swords and it being yeah, that being the lower aspect of a strategy. And it be that lie of, oh, I'm holding it for you. No, you wouldn't be holding it for me, bitch. I'm just saying. If you get it, you get it. Right? Yeah. So within that one ships coming in. Whew, the transcendental spiritual truth of one not being in conflict with the Empress. That's one, the beyond the shadow of a doubt, right? Not shifting the inspiration of one who would be fruitful, and there being this manifestation of egotism that will come into place, and how one will manifest for one not to be victorious. The other portion of this, yeah, because this is a lot of higher order stuff. A lot of this that it's really giving is that whole Taurus essence. Yeah, because Uranus is in Taurus right now, y'all. Or if it's not in it right now. Some of us can feel that essence, but if it's not in it right now, it's definitely going into it, which is going to be about the stabilizing aspects of showing, yeah, of what constitutes as being rebellious and things of that nature. It's that part. But this other part of it is um, this magician being okay. I'm here investigated, and realistically, the cancer aspect, and the magician not having a heart, not having a chest. Some of this other stuff that is given on the Lathrop mathematics aspect is going to be about what it is that would have gone on with the throat, the hips, the heart, what else, and the veins. On this journey, yeah, looking for name. If it's gonna be in regards to the journey, expectation, implementation is gonna be something that you got to pay attention to. The other thing, oh, this is gonna be interesting. Yeah, because in a knowing more, the shocking value that always come into place with this is always gonna be that it's not about a third party situation, but it'll be about an actual structure. That be the tower moment in so much in so many different situations. Because the tower is a structure and an ending, and it ends the third party situations as titles, right? Titles and their entitlement. So it's that part. So I'm hoping that helps you guys out just a little bit. Basically, what it's looking like is paying attention to what your boundaries are, whether this be within the shipments coming in. If you after you've been waiting for a while, pay attention to the shipments that's coming in, their names. Her, what is this telling you right now? It's telling is giving you want to know what it's really giving a feel of. It's giving a feel of when I was working at Rooster, and they used to use my videos to be able to tell. In short, they knew I was a reader before I even got there. They never paid me for the actual readings, or they tried to play. Yeah, they tried to pull that. Oh, we just asked one question and then just made sure I got a little. Yeah, but I worked for all of it and tips and all this other stuff. So yeah, another thing that was coming up to me a whole lot was excuse me for lack of the benign, the small things that a person would blow up. Like it was one time I was working with her name was Camille, and it was shortly after I did a cord cutting from another Camille, and it wasn't my cousin though. Ultimately, in answer to any questions in regards to heirs, I'm not at liberty to tell anyone anything about that. That ain't your business. If you focus on heirs, that means you're not focusing on what it is you're supposed to be doing in the karmic aspect. You focusing on the wrong shit. That's that part. The other part of it is the Camille that I was working with at Rooster. She was really two faced in knowing that I was doing my job correctly. Basically, I'm the hostess. I'm supposed to be, marketing the stuff it is that's up at my counter because when I was hired on, that was part that was important for me to do. Yeah, I was supposed to basically push product. I was supposed to sell cups, t-shirts, yeah, and the bags of coffee, all of that shit. So I put it up on my Instagram and on my TikTok, and within me doing so, yeah, it was a lot of different conversations and things of that nature that went on. Now, long story short, uh, I did think about it the other day because every time I'm walking, I see a hair wrapper. Um, I don't know personally if they're still having those weekends where they make a lot of money, but a $20,000 weekend over a hair wrapper, you didn't get that much money by selling no fucking coffee. And sure, I wasn't respected there. I won't ever go back to Rooster ever. So, and they were yeah. After Sada left, Camille she was doing too much and not enough, all at the same time. She doesn't know how to partner with people, and in addition to that, she made it. Um, she really wanted me to know that she had a cleaning business, and it was one of those okay. And I'm thinking, oh, well, maybe I could help her. But the way she treated me, I'm not gonna fucking help you after you've been treating me like shit all day because you feel some type of way. That's ugly. What you take me for a fucking idiot? I'm not a fool. I was born at night, not last night. Y'all need to stop doing it. Yeah, and besides, I already did what I was supposed to in regards to a lot of other things outside of that. If you, yeah, it's about that karma. Ultimately, here's the deal that comes into place with karma. You're not gonna get karma for nothing you ain't did. No matter how much a person accuse you, no matter how quick you are with whatever, with spell work, with none of it, you can't get karma for nothing that you ain't did. That's a seed that you would have sown, so that's what you reap. Okay, that's that part. The other part of it, if you do it to one person, typically by the time it happens to me, people would have been doing it to people a whole lot, and they would have been getting away with it. Now, if you getting shit back for everything that you done did to everybody, well, look at it like this. At least you clearing it up and you clearing it out. And when you done with the shit, you ain't got to ever worry about it again. And you learn a lot of life lessons. Basically, is what that boils down to. You learn a lot of life lessons. Is pretty much what I get from that. No, because here's the deal. Everybody has karma, whether it be good or bad. And I took care of mine a whole lot earlier than most people would even assume that they should. I knew about the way different people felt in regards to me, period. In my high school, with my high school situation, I took care of that and before the age of 25. And then, so yeah, so by the time I was 30, I had closed that door already. And then with what it was that happened those first few years between the age of, I want to say for real, like 29 to, well, no, 29 to 33, so to speak. No, 29 to 35. Between 29 and 35, I took care of everything it was as it was happening with me. So people feeling some type of way about me. Now, hey, they want to take jabs and do all that shit. Okay, that's my karma. That's just my karma. Cool. I ain't finna trip off of it. But at the end of the day, if they were wrong for taking jabs at me when I walk away from them, it ain't gonna be too much that they could say or do about that. I've already did what I'm supposed to do. I walked away. I made sure I stay away from those individuals, and I make sure I keep to myself with everything it is that I'm supposed to keep to myself. Everything ain't for everybody to know. It ain't for everybody to share or for me to share with everyone. So that's that. And then outside of that, um, because I wasn't the dramatic person the whole time that I was being called a villain in all these different situations, I was being called a villain by a narcissist, by somebody who was trying to take from me. Any person who's ever called me stubborn is because they don't know what the word persistent means. Persistent means I have a goal in mind, I have an idea in place, and I'm looking to execute or put in motion that particular idea. You calling me stubborn, that's just me. Yeah, that just makes me know it's one of those. Okay, you must not. You, I, you want to know what my plan is, but I'm not at liberty to tell you. Basically, is what that boils down to. Yeah, and that is giving a person who don't particularly care for Tauruses because they can't get shit over on them, or they couldn't get shit over on me. I'm okay with that. They can be mad if they want to, but I ain't. Yeah, as long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, I'm good. All right, so hopefully it helps you guys out just a little bit, gave you a tad bit of an inclination as to a few different things it is that would be going on. If you like to schedule your own personal touch of clarity, you are more than welcome to do so at lightwork ain't lightwork LLC at gmail.com. Okay? All right. See, remember, light work, it ain't light work. It is not light work. It's not light work. And that's why you have to stay light while you work. No, because what it's giving is you need to listen to the wisdoms that were on my or in my video, Underground Angels. That's where your answers would have been. That's what happens when people don't pay attention and they don't take notes. All right. Light love to y'all, okay? All right. Because see, remember, light work, it ain't light work. It is not light work. It's not light work. That's why you have to stay light while you work.